In the name of His Most Royal Majesty, by the grace of God, the King of France. So now, we appeal to you, Trevor Belmont, last of House Belmont.
Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Trailers, where we give our thoughts on some of the newest and hottest video game trailers on the internet. My name is Jason Winter, and today with me this week, coming back for another episode, we've got Mr. Mike Byrne, aka Magic Man. How you doing, sir?
Awesome. Thank you for having me once again. It was fun last time. I can't wait to get through some of the trailers we're going to see today. Looking forward to it, sir.
It's going to be even more fun, because right off the bat, we're starting with one of your favorites. I know you love this franchise.
Oh, yes.
You have for years and years.
Yes.
Castlevania. The new trailer from Konami, Castlevania Belmont's Curse. We just saw a look at it. Looks good. I mean, that's what I think. I'm being not the Castlevania pro like you. I know that it's been a long time since we had a mainline Castlevania game in 12 years, I think. So
yeah,
I'll let you just go for it, man. Geek out.
When this dropped at the Sony State of Play, I think was the first time we saw this. This trailer, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. And that whole 20 minutes of the State of Play became the Konami State of Play. But this was amazing to see, celebrating the 40th anniversary. It looks fantastic. They have more surprises throughout the year. Love that it definitely looks like they're taking inspiration from some games we've seen in the interim, Bloodstained being one of them, obviously. The Prince of Persia Lost Crown ones, because they've kind of shifted to that art style away from the Symphony of the Night type art style. There's nods in there. Yeah, beautiful. There's nods in there to characters in the Netflix animated show. So, and then we see whip platforming, something that we saw debuted kind of in the series back in Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. This hit all the bells for me. And then when you announce that it's Evil Empire and Motion Twin, Motion Twin being behind Dead Cells, and then Evil Empire doing all those different add-on packs for Dead Cells, including a Castlevania one. And you're like, yes, this is in good hands. When's release date? Cannot wait.
Yeah, all they have right now is 2026. No fixed date or anything. It makes me wonder though, we've had so many, Metroidvania has become a term since the last time we had a Castlevania game practically, and it makes you wonder if they're just kind of responding to all that, hey, we're going to take back the crown now. Screw you, Hollow Knight. We're the kings of this. We came up with it. We're the Vania, so
right.
Want to show you how it's done.
When you get away from the handheld ones too, the mainline console ones have not been in that vein recently, mm-hmm. right? They've been more action oriented than truly Metroidvania. So super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next trailer we've got is for a game called Windrose. Take a look.
You bold young thoughtless men, wouldn't take by me, and never lead your happy homes to sail the raging sea. For I have plowed the raging plain this 20 years or more, but now I'm turned adrift to starve upon my English shore. By raging storms and tempests, shipwrecked 3 times I've been, and many a bloody battle upon the seas I've seen. I've seen the cannons glaring, yes, I've heard its thunderous roar. Oh, now I'm turned adrift to starve upon my English shore.
Okay, that was the demo for Windrose, a pirate action survival game coming from the Windrose crew, appropriately. And this is a game that it's not coming out for a while, they've got no fixed date on it, but it does have a demo on Steam. And I actually played it for a few hours just the other day, because I wanted to get a look at it. I loved how it looked. I wanted to play the pirate game. And I liked it. It was definitely, it's a little rough around the edges still. They've got some time to figure it out, but I think it played pretty well. Probably the closest comp I think of was Valheim. That's what I felt while I was playing it. It had a lot of similarities to that. With the building, even with the way food works, how it just buffs you instead of something you have to do, like in a lot of survival games, that sort of thing. But yeah, I was able to, in 5 hours I was able to sort of master the opening island, get a little hut built, nothing on par with the grand buildings they show off in the demo. Got some combat in, got my ship finally. That was what I really wanted to do. I wanted to get a ship, get some cannons on it. Went out and fought one of the NPC ships. Got my ass beat. But that was because I was kind of rushing through it. I didn't take the time to outfit my ship with everything. I just got the cannon on it and do a whole lot of other things. Was really getting the hang of it. Really enjoyed it. And something I definitely think I could get into a little later on when it comes out. Mike, what are your thoughts on looking at this?
Yeah, I'm kind of split on this one. I do like that it is leaning more towards the PvE side of things. I'm generally a PvE over PvP kind of guy.
It's not leaning more. It's completely PvE. There's no PvP.
Yeah. So I do appreciate that. There were aspects of certain things, like parts of the UI and stuff throughout the trailer that I was like, was that ripped from New World? Like that looks exactly like certain bits of the UI.
That was the other game I thought of was New World. So just from the whole notion of being on the piratey and having undead monsters and whatever. Yeah,
exactly. And as many piratey games as we've seen, let's say over the last 10 years, right? We still have yet to get that true just pirate fantasy top to bottom, right? Sea of Thieves had a rocky start. It has certainly improved now, but it's got an art style that a lot of people may right away are turned on or turned off by, whether you want to play a game with that type of art style. Obviously, Skull and Bones hasn't done all that well. We don't know what's going to happen with the Black Flag remake from Ubisoft at this point, or anything Ubisoft has going these days. So this definitely does hit some high notes for me. The ship-to-ship combat, the jumping from ship-to-ship combat when you're done throwing cannonballs. I don't know if the survival aspects of it will keep me playing, but from a trailer perspective, it definitely hits pirate fantasy notes that I do want to check out.
Yeah, like I said, it's the survival aspect very, very, very much reminded me of Valheim. Yeah. But obviously with the ship stuff put in. Also a little more convenient. I thought a few of the things that were a little easier, like navigating your boat. Not having to deal with the wind and that sort of thing, like you do in Valheim. That was a lot easier to deal with. So I think they took some inspiration from that and tried to smooth that out a little bit here and there. Like you said, maybe grabbed a little UI, grabbed some ideas, whatever, from New World and other games. So maybe more of a refinement than a total innovation of the genre.
Just if somebody nails pirate ship combat the way Black Flag did in the single player experience in a multiplayer experience, which this is going to be like co-op with your buddies type deal.
Like Valheim,
then I'm all for it. As long as I can just kind of get by with the survival elements. Let me get what I need and get the hell out of here.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so we go from Windrose to Windless.
It's a windy episode, Mr. Winter. A windy episode.
Yeah, it's actually pretty calm outside looking out the window. No wind. But anyway. So yeah, here is Project Windless from Krafton.
We are the children of water, born of the goddess. You filthy creatures, faithless, soulless, unclean. This world was never yours to keep. How dare you stand in the way of purity, little king?
Okay, that was Project Windless from Krafton, the makers of PUBG. And, I have to say, I never thought I'd want to be a giant Birdman playing Dynasty Warriors, but here we are. That's true.
I mean, you just summed up the trailer perfectly. Like, it was talk about birds and talk about Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, in my notes here, that's what it is. Again, I think this was another one with state of play. Look, I know that like in Eastern cultures, there's a lot of like anthropomorphism of deities and gods and heroes and that type of thing. It was really weird for me watching this trailer and seeing that playable character in a very realistic environment. Like it was absolutely taking that character design 100% seriously in that world. And it was hard for me to do that watching the trailer. Dynasty Warriors has always been kind of a, okay, it's fun for a couple hours for me. I honestly don't think I've beaten an entire Dynasty Warriors, if I'm being honest. So I doubt that this one's going to hold me. It is an interesting trailer. I do like the character design, even though I do think there's a bit of a disconnect between the world and your character in watching the trailer specifically. But if you're a fan of Dynasty Warriors, that probably doesn't matter, right? Like you saw this and you were like, hell yeah, sign me up. I'm just not one of those.
I get the impression, though, from the trailers and watching the dev diary, that's not just Dynasty Warriors. It's also, it says open world RPG.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be, more of like, singular kind of boss fights as well.
And we see some of those in the trailers, like big, the big uglies.
Yeah, exactly. It almost gives me more of a feeling like almost like a combination of Dynasty Warriors and Elden Ring, something like that. With just the kind of style of it and the kind of dark-ish fantasy, but not totally like ruined world apocalyptic, that sort of thing. It's actually based on a series of books that, what they call in the dev diary, they say it's like the Korean Lord of the Rings. And they're only about 20 years old, though, which is kind of surprising to me. Like, the author's still around, still producing stuff. So, but it's interesting that they, what does it say? He's received record advances for selling the rights to Western publishers. So, sort of thing you might be able to see on your own shelves at some time in your local bookstores. And maybe, who knows, maybe this will be, it's kind of like The Witcher was, if you think about that, how that was nothing we'd ever heard of until the video games came out and then the books became popular. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Could be the next big thing. And maybe I agree. I can't take the Chicken Man seriously. I know they're trying, and I know he's supposed to be like a real badass. One of the weaknesses, though, of their race is that they're afraid of water. So I wonder how that's going to play out in the game. Like if you try to cross.
It's very Gremlins. Very Gremlins.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that was Project Windless, and next up we have People of Note. Let's take a look at this game.
We've come this far together. Give us a chance to prove ourselves.
Now it's more my tempo.
I'll take care of this.
Nothing but a warm-up.
Who's with me? Now's your chance. Get loud.
Whoa, that power!
We just need a little retuning.
This is it. They thought they could hang with us.
None of them think I have what it takes. What do we have to do? I'll figure it out. I have to.
Ready for a matchup!
You know it.
I got you.
No, nice cake.
Don't let them intimidate you.
Okay, that was Project of Note from developer Iridium Studios, published by Annapurna Interactive. And it is a turn-based RPG musical, which Mike is looking like he really, really likes the look of and wants to talk about it. Go for it, man. Just get in there.
I didn't know that I needed this in my life, man. Turn-based RPGs, yes. Sign me up. rhythm-based games, music-based games. Yes, absolutely. If you've watched any of my streams, you have seen both of those for 20 years on streams now. So I played once, where I played way back on the PlayStation 1, an RPG from Atlas called Rhapsody, which was a turn-based RPG that was a musical. Like there were musical interludes and songs and stuff, but it didn't have much to do with the actual combat. People of note watching this trailer and seeing like there was mini rhythm games as far as the actual in combat skills and what would happen. I was like, I didn't know I needed this, but I absolutely do. Where's the pre-order button? I am all over this. I'm a big fan of Annapurna generally, so I have a quality expectation that I'm hopeful for this game. But unbelievable. I saw this and was like, yeah, this is an instant try for me. An instant try.
It won't wait long. It launches on April 7th, so only
right around the corner.
Yeah, they also had a lot of interesting details about the gameplay on their Steam site. One of the ones I thought was interesting, they said, play it your way. Don't like environmental puzzles? Turn them off. Not into turn-based combat? Don't worry, we got you. The entire experience of People of Note is completely customizable. So in addition to just being a game, where you do the standard stuff, they have a lot of customization, a lot of choices you can make in how you're going to play it. And that's great for the accessibility of it for people who, like me, don't have the reflexes necessarily to do the rhythm game. I was always so bad on Guitar Hero, Rock Band, all that stuff. So yeah, that's going to be a nice additional thing that they'll add to it.
Yeah, and it harkened back to like Legend of Dragoon, right? Was one of the first RPGs I played that had some type of rhythm-ish mechanic. Like it wasn't done to music, but it was a timing thing in combat. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, why? Yeah, that's absolutely mechanic that'll work. Let's do it. Let's see what we get.
What was that one game, like School of Rock or Rock of Ages or something like that?
Rock of Ages.
Yeah. The music game. Anyway. Okay, well, next up we've got something you've probably heard of already, but we had to cover it anyway because we just have to, because it's Star Wars. Star Wars Galactic Racer.
Our newest racer has arrived! Welcome to the Galactic League! Since you're here, why not take part in a friendly exhibition race?
If they weren't holding me back right now, I'd have you frozen in carbonite!
And that was our look at Star Wars Galactic Racer, which anybody who's been around for a while, if you were around, if you're an old man like me or Mike, you had to have played Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo 64, GameCube, whatever it was. I love that game. Out of all the like non-RPG, now if you're not counting Knights of the Old Republic, that sort of thing, this is definitely my favorite. That was my favorite Star Wars game.
Yeah.
We played that endlessly at a friend's house. We'd have 4 people over on a Friday night, just going around doing the pod racing. This is like the next evolution of that. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to try it out.
Yeah, and I mean, developed by Fuse Games, so a lot of that team, when they develop Fuse Games, comes from the old Burnout franchise. So there's a pedigree there as far as doing this type of game. I really, when I first saw this trailer the first time, I was like, oh, the old Burnout folks. Oh, that'd be cool. Can we have that destruction mode? I don't know if you remember that. That was in Burnout, where it's just like cause as much dollar damage as you can riding up this particular challenge. That would be pretty cool in Star Wars. But from a racing standpoint, this looks fantastic. The sound design is obviously dead on, as you would hope it would be as far as the trailer goes. I cannot wait to jump into this one. There's not much to say, right? It's pick a Star Wars vehicle and go race in it. I don't care if there's a story. I don't care if the story's good. I don't care if the story's bad. Give me the music, give me the sound effects, and give me a solid racing game in a Star Wars environment, and you got my money. You did all those years ago. You're probably going to get it here unless it's like just terrible at launch.
That is interesting, though. They are adding a story to it. It makes you wonder if they're going to have even...
I saw in the trailer that there's kind of hints to it, and then there was some stuff on Steam, and I was like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care.
I wouldn't two-step now, with all the like sports sims that I've played through the years. I wonder if there's something like that, too, where you have to like try to get to the top, and you have to like manage your racer, how much credits you get to build your next thing, and
like in the Maddens when you were like a college kid and you had to make all those decisions and stuff.
Exactly. I hope they have aspects like that in there as well. That would make it the perfect game for me.
That would be neat. That would be neat.
It just feels weird in 2026 to be like hyped about a Star Wars game. I don't know.
Right, and it's a racing game too. It's not like KOTOR 3 or anything. We're like, exactly. Let's race some pods. Let's go.
Yep, and Ben Quadraneros. They had to put him back in.
Yes.
Do we have Smallba too? If we have Smallba, I'm in.
Of course. Of course.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mike. That is our show for today. It was
My
a
pleasure.
real pleasure having you back.
I'm always happy to be here, my friend. And hello to everybody out there. Thanks for having me again. Love it. Hope to see you again.
Yep, absolutely. Hope everyone else out there enjoyed the show. Please give it a like and subscribe so you'll always know when there's a future episode posted. And you can find our socials on the screen right now if you'd like to follow us individually on various platforms. It's to your this way. You can't see me, but I'm pointing to my left. There, left. There we go. We got it. Okay. All right, we've got one more trailer we're going to show you for today. This is for Alarial's Blessing. It's a tactical turn-based RPG from new developer Hexen F Games. And it looks like it has a lot of character, a lot of heart. Mike likes it too. Maybe we'll talk about that some other time when it launches. So, all right, check that out. Let us know what you thought was your favorite game from this week's show. Until next time, stay safe and play hard.
They say I made this world and every living thing on it. While I admit to having meddled, I'm not nearly as powerful as they claim. Despite all my effort, life seems unable to exist without conflict.
There's no point sacrificing ourselves for complete strangers.
Who said anything about dying? We should fight and win. They need our help.
You're arguing morals when a delicious meal is right in front of you? You both have your priorities wrong.
They did not know it, but this trio was a special project of mine.
Do you ever feel like the world's trying to punish us for something?
If it is, I'm not sure what we did to deserve it.
I had no grand destiny planned for them. They were simply 3 people moving through the world, living their lives.
I'm haunted by memories of losing friends. But recently, these visions, I've seen my own death.
We've made it this far together. We'll pull through fine. You worry too much.
I'm not certain why I grew so attached. Maybe I was just lonely.
My father didn't deserve to die. I won't forgive you!
Hold on! Wait!
After all you've been through, it's only fair you get to hear the full story.